So you still tuned into Joy 99.7 FM. Check with your time now. It's 11 gone after 4. And we're just about to get into our conversation. Full house right now. Uncle Kennedy is in the house. Sadiq Abdullah Abu is in the house. Mr. Jesse Amwejapong is in the house. Just in case you don't know who they are, Jesse Amwejapong is CEO of IFIBA Consult. He's a marketing communications specialist, CIMG award winner, and one of the finest in the business. Sadiq Abdullah Abu is team lead at 3 Music Network, CEO of 3 Music Awards, and Uncle Kennedy is right here with us at Multimedia Group. He is a big shot when it comes to entertainment in GH, host of Ken's Music Mix and Jazz on Joy. Should have listened to him on International Jazz Day when he took over the Cosmopolitan Mix. Uncle Ken, that was fab. Man.
Thank you, George.
You know, I have never told you that, but you're one of the few people who made me fall in love with jazz music. Honestly, jazz music didn't make sense to me until I started listening to you.
I'm on it.
Yeah. I mean, your talent is super. It's super. Only problem is the team you follow. Liverpool. I don't know.
I will never
walk alone.
Yeah, and Sadiq.
Yes. Good afternoon and welcome. How was your week, though?
Yeah, it's been nice. It's been cool, calm. You know, very interesting issues popping up here and there.
A lot.
In the country.
A lot.
That's what keeps us going, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, we wake up every day to something new to discuss.
Yeah.
Sometimes irrelevant.
Yeah.
Other times quite, useful things to discuss. And it makes it interesting.
Beautiful. Sadiq,
Yes, George.
how was your week?
Well, I was topsy-turvy.
Topsy-turvy. But today is a special day.
Yes.
Charlie, Ramadan and hard work. And,
No. Ramadan and birthday party.
Yeah.
Today is a special day.
oh, today the event.
Today is a very
that's why
special
everybody's
day.
wearing white.
That's why everybody is wearing white.
I
Yes.
did it on purpose.
I think
Today,
I can be allowed to wear brown today.
listeners, today is Sadiq's wife's birthday. Ajia Kubura Brahma. I call her Ajia Kubura Power. Ajia Power. Happy birthday to
And George, a lot of people call her Adiza.
Adiza. Yeah. Yes. She's a great woman. Great woman. Sadiq, how did she find you?
Or how did I find her?
No. She found you. I mean, you didn't find her. You Charlie, that woman.
I pushed her like the way Liverpool push players. We actually met in school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice one.
Interesting. We would have that story one day. And then, of
we
course,
discovered ourselves in the ACC.
the man they call Don Cheche Scaramucci, a.k.a. we cannot say that on radio, Mr. Jesse Amwejapong.
Yes.
George,
How are you doing, sir?
fantastic.
How was the week?
So this week is, I think it's exactly a week since COVID hit businesses. A year.
Actually true,
A year ago
a year.
when COVID hit businesses. So okay, what I meant was this week, exactly a year this week, COVID hit businesses. Mine was one of the very heavily affected. I asked all my employees to go home. I put them on a half salary for like 5 months. And a year on, we've survived. We're pushing, and many small businesses are back on the growth path. So for me, I think it's great to be here, and reflectively, it's been good.
We give
Thanks
glory to
be to
God.
God.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
we
been
give
good.
glory to God.
Yes,
We
yes.
give glory to God. And then we have our special guest with us in the studio. This man holds a Master of Art degree in audiovisual production. That's for film and television from London Metropolitan University. I wonder when he's going to produce his first real movie that we can give to Netflix or any of these international broadcast networks to show. But he's also got a diploma in journalism from Ghana Institute of Journalism, a certificate in marketing management from Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, that's GIMPA, a certificate in production and cost management from the Association of Overseas Technical Scholarship of Japan, a certificate, it's endless, King Kwasi Kyei Darkwah.
Hi, George.
Why so many degrees? Why? What you want to be?
Learning is something you do till you die. I mean, anything that you cannot do when you die, you try and do when you're alive.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are things you can do when you die, but nobody has informed us of those yet. So
Not yet. Nobody has come back from that side.
Jesus came back.
But he didn't tell us how that side was. He came back to rescue us on this side. He didn't tell us anything about that side just yet. So we're waiting for the story from that side still. It's an honor to have you. I know you're a very, very busy man, and you're actually emceeing a show today.
Well, actually, my company is actually producing an event today. I mean,
Okay.
a client who I've worked for in excess of 31 years
Wow.
has opened a new retail space in East Legon at 22 Mensawood Avenue. So we're there working on the opening, and I had to run to come because my brother invited me.
It is interesting that you are able to still have your company do shows, you still host shows, you're still visible, you
Still write
out
speeches
there.
for CEOs, still write speeches for chiefs. Still give lectures at different tertiary institutes around the world, and still are able to pursue excellence, eloquence, and elegance with purpose.
27 December 2014, you were arrested.
Yeah. On a false allegation, and I think at this point in time everybody knows it was total BS. And well, the thing is that everybody has a right to make any allegation, and that's why you have a law courts, that's why you have the police, that's why you have the investigative people, but that's also why you have haters, and that's why also it's in the Bible that he will lay a table for you in the presence of your enemies. The lie just couldn't go farther, so they had to let it go. And here I am, and whoever did the lie, they are dealing with their lives in their own way, and I'm still here.
For those who do not know exactly what we're talking about, because there may be people listening for the first time.
Yeah, but
they're
you
like,
don't want to
"Who's
recap
KK?"
that. There are too
know.
many great highlights to talk about. To
yes.
worry about the one lie that
No,
somebody
we're
has
not.
lied about you.
That one line situates us into a part where, because I started the conversation by saying that you're still doing a lot. You're still writing speeches for chiefs, dignitaries, people all over the world, still giving lectures. There are people who, after they go through what you went through, are never able to come back.
And there are people too who haven't been through anything but have died. So you've just got to take whatever comes your way. Life throw you lemons, make lemonades, And you've got to just do the best you can with what you have day by day, with a clear understanding that there are three key things that women are looking for in men, and three key things that men are looking for in women. And anyone in possession of those three key things will have a lot of enemies. You can't run away from that. I mean, women have a list of things they're looking for in men, but there are PhDs, research is done on this. And the three key things they're looking for in men, apart from the fact that they want a true companion for life, fame is attractive to women, power is attractive to women, and money is attractive to women. So if you have any of these, fellow men will dislike you. And on the other hand, there are three key things men are looking for in women. Aside of the fact that we also are looking for a companion for life, we're looking for youth, beauty, and service. And any woman who has any of these, other women will be jealous of them. And once you understand this basic philosophy of life, you realize, do I have fame? Do I have power? Do I have money? Therein lies the household of enemies. It's just the way it is.
Very, very, very interesting. Situates our conversation right where it's supposed to be. I cataloged a number of scandals. I mean, I looked at them globally and locally. And someone like Chris Brown has had so much at him. He's even been banned from entering certain countries. He cannot enter the United Kingdom. He cannot enter Australia. He cannot enter Wales. Sadiq Wales and can he not enter? There are a number of countries that don't want Chris Brown in there. Then, of course, we know the story of Bill Cosby. I mean, once upon a time, this was America's favorite father. Everybody looked up to Bill Cosby. And then there were allegations that just put him away. Then there are those that also had some of these encounters, came back locally. We know of John Dumelo. John Dumelo had a vehicle situation. They said he stole a V8, and it was all over the place. And John Dumelo weathered that storm. He went on to run for political office in one of the most hotly contested constituencies in Ghana, and that was Ayawaso West Wuogon. He didn't win, but he did a pretty good showing. Then there was Jagapi. Abe Kunyame, that's his name, right? Jagapi, sometime in 2000 was it 2004, 95? I think it was 95. Had a problem with G-Man. He had gone to visit G-Man, and there were two ladies that came to see them. And then one of the ladies came with a taxi. There was a problem with the taxi driver regarding money. I think it was 330 pesos at the time. And the taxi driver wanted 40 pesos instead. And it became a banter of a sort. The taxi driver allegedly took some of the sand from G-Man's step, footprint in the sand, purportedly to go and do juju to kill him and all that. G-Man got upset, went into the house, pulled out a gun, came out and shot him dead. He gave a warning shoot first. Maybe the guy didn't respond to it, so he shot him dead. Two of them found themselves in jail. Jagapi apparently appealed and got his case taken out, or he got his freedom. G-Man got a presidential pardon in 2009 from former President Kufuor, and he went on to become a pastor. Jagapi never quite recovered. And, the Jagapi that he was, that big star. So how have you done it, KKD?
I think I've been fortunate, and my fortune comes from the fact that, I don't pursue things that do not bring me joy. We are all born, we come alone and we go alone.
Yeah.
We roam, we go back home. And if you know what it is you're looking for in life, you keep going for it. As a child, my mother told me when I was only 12 years old in Presec Lake, he says, Kwasi Kyei, we are dancing. A dance for ne yasasi yesika koko, and yem prisika. A dance for baby a free na Ashanti region, and so yesika ni yesika koko. A sieni yesika koko, a srone yanka wo. Yem prisika, ye prince, ye prinimudia, any inimunyam. That, to translate it, translation is a difficult thing because when it's beautiful, it's not faithful. And when it's faithful, it's not beautiful. Very much like a female in so many cases. But it says, Kwasi Kyei, you are an Adansi. You're a royal of the Adansi people. The Adansi people do not chase after money because beneath our houses are buried gold. Above the land on which our houses are built, sweet oranges. We don't chase after money. We chase after longevity. We chase after wisdom and knowledge. And we chase after dignity. So if you will focus on those, you will be comfortable because you can have a lot of money and have sleepless nights. Or you can have some modest amounts of money and live very comfortably. And that helps you. It informs you in so many ways because then you're not somebody who is a bribe taker. And then you're not somebody who truckles no fawns because, if you want to make money in a society which is very politically divided, you need to learn how to enjoy the smell of people's backsides and also enjoy the taste of people's backsides. But if you're in a Adansi, those are unnecessary because you've been told as a child that you're not chasing after money. You're chasing after longevity. You're chasing after wisdom and knowledge. And you're chasing after dignity. That's it.
Very interesting. We're going to come back to our discussion on these scandals and how a celebrity can get out of it or otherwise.
But, when you talk of the scandals, once this lie came about, and it's interesting, you're one of the journalists who also came to the police station.
Yes, I was there.
And it became known that the lady had personally told the police, no, this is a lie. I have not been raped. I will not say I've been raped. And no journalist ever reported it. I could see very clearly that a good number of journalists did not really like me. And, it's also because, journalism, if you're doing news and current affairs, there isn't much competition really. But if you're doing culture and entertainment, there is only so much room at the top. Because in every field of endeavor, there is only one absolute superstar. And unless you have a niche where you think that even though there are so many superstars, I have my niche, you're constantly in trepidation of the fact that somebody is more gifted than you. Because what we do with language and culture entertainment requires a certain level of talent. It requires some learning as well. Some people come in without much talent, but with learning, with training, with apprenticeship, they can do quite well and excel. But some just have plain talent. And where you are in a situation where your colleagues cannot say, oh, but we found this, and nobody has reported it, so I will report it, but none of them would do it, then you look at them like, oh my God, amongst the mice, there are a few men, but also among the men, there are so many mice.
Pretty interesting. We're live on Joy Prime and also on Joy 99.7 FM and online at myjoyonline.com. If you have the My Joy Online app, you can watch us live. And also, you can go on Facebook, look for Joy 99.7 FM, hashtag Showbiz A to Z. We're having a conversation with the man, King Kwasi Kyei Darkwah. Let us come to you personally. I mean, have you relocated totally from the UK? That's where you used to live, right?
Yeah, I live in the UK and I live in Ghana. You know, God's universe is for all of us. You know, I was born and raised in Ghana, a country I love. And then I moved to the UK in 1997 for family purposes. My young wife wanted to go and work there, so I moved and settled her and 2 children and our maidservant there. But after 2 years, I found now for a young family it wasn't working, so I wanted them back, and she still wanted to be there. So I had to close down my business and leave the company I was heading. I was the general manager of Megastar Records at the time, one of the biggest records
Record
companies
labels in the country.
West Africa at
Yeah.
the time. And, you know, started life there, you know. So the kids went to school there. That's their home. They know the UK more than Ghana, and they have a life there. So I thought, well, should it be all about the father or should it be about the children? And I think somewhere in every parent's life, as I'm sure Jesse will attest to, you realize that if you are the man of the household, it is not about you. It's about the wife and children. It's not about you. Sadiq will tell you the same. It's about you when you're alone, because you're struggling to put something aside so you can find your rib or your companion and build something together so you can enjoy in your old age. But once that wife comes in, and then once that wife adds children to the family, it's no longer about you. You go out there and slave and provide for them, and they become your joy. So it was like, okay, the so-called wealthy looking to send your children to school abroad. You're already here. You're already working here. You're already settled here. And if the kids are in school here, then you must give them the opportunity to finish your education here, but also make sure to come home. And, you know, I remember I was coming to Ghana anything between 12 times a year and 40 times a year. That's outrageous, yeah.
That must have been an expensive lifestyle.
Oh,
Are you rich?
I wouldn't say, yes, I'm literacy rich.
Are you financially rich?
Financially sound. You know, I wouldn't say financially rich.
Because in
I
the
think
UK, I remember visiting you at home one day, and you live in one of the most expensive suburbs. That's South Kensington.
Yeah, because I don't drink or smoke and I don't buy unnecessary things. I mean,
Neither do I, but I can't afford South Kensington.
everybody has their needs and everybody gratifies their needs. Some people like big cars. Some people like big houses. Some people have a lot of money, but they still live in a hotel. You know, Omar Sharif lived in a hotel most of his life because that's what he liked. And some people are very, very wealthy, but would prefer just to live on a boat by a lake. So it's not about what other people like. It's about what you like and about the lifestyle that makes you happy.
How were you able to afford that lifestyle?
Because I worked very hard. I told you about how I was traveling. I was going to the States to host shows. I was going to the States to host weddings. I was giving part-time lectures in different schools. And I had my own company, the Finest Productions in England. We were handling Ghana International Bank. We were handling this Express company, which later changed its name. We're also handling Unity Link Financial Services, Meridian Finance, a good number of them. And it was good. But aside of that, we're also doing events for quite a number of companies in the city, not necessarily Ghanaian businesses. And we were not throwing the money in the bin. I was investing that money because, you know, there'll come a time when you won't be strong enough to work. So you keep putting something away. And as you grow, your parents will tell you the life is not about now. It's about your pension years. That is, if God gives you longevity, which is what we've also been praying along for all the time. If you get longevity, then you realize it's wise to put something aside when you're young. But if you think you're going to die young, then you might as well blow all now.
Let us speak about your radio career. Radio started here in Ghana, right?
Radio.
How did it
radio.
all begin? How did you find yourself in that space?
Radio. I met a fine man called Carl Bannerman many years ago. I was a boy. I used to host shows and produce shows, organize shows, advertise shows, most of them my own shows, before I started doing the same for other people, including Tema Beach Club, where Eddie Garba, PV Obeng, Kofi Jeu, and all the big boys in Tema used to go. And I think I invited Kalajiman Bannerman to one of my programs because I liked him and what he did on radio. And he came to the program, he enjoyed it, and he was just amazed to see a Ghanaian rapping and or mixing records the way I was. So one day I'm crossing the street across my mother's home, and I see Kalajiman Bannerman, and he goes, "Yeah, you, what are you doing here?" And I said, "My mother's house is just here." He says, "Well, GBC is about to start an FM station, and they would love to have somebody like you because you can get the youth to listen to radio." I mean, Q way back to 1984, 5, 6. A lot of young people didn't listen to much radio. It was more old people who would listen to radio,
listen
and then
to
you'd
radio,
call
yeah.
your sons, "Hey, come on, listen to the news." But most of the programming was targeted at, middle-aged and older people. So when GBC FM came on, I got hired. And before that, I would come on Kalajiman Bannerman's program as a guest to speak on youth and contemporary culture, pop culture. And it was nice coming on his show. So that made me realize this is something I'd like to do for long. And that's how it started. And I got on radio. I was the only one who was mixing records the way people mix in the clubs today. I was the only one who was rapping in Ghana. Nobody else was doing it. If there is, then let them raise their hands. And I got suspended for playing rap music on radio.
What?
I got suspended for playing rap music on radio because they said rap music was not part of our culture. It was not allowed for you to play rap music on radio.
In which year was this?
This was way back in 1986.
Uncle Ken, were you in Ghana at the time?
86.
Around 86, were you in Ghana?
I just got to Ghana from the UK.
Oh, you had just gotten in from the...
Yeah.
He was suspended for playing rap music on radio.
Yeah.
That must have been the radio policy, the station policy.
Unbelievable. What was wrong with
I
rap
don't
music?
think it was the station policy, really, because if there was any policy, I never saw it. And
Okay.
if you work with a company that cannot show you the company policy, that's a problem. You don't have to go looking for the company
But
policy.
this was GBC radio.
This was Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Let me tell you what, Kojo Enchi's music,
Yeah.
if he had a video, would not be played on Ghana television. Whilst they would play Peter Tosh and play Bob Marley, they wouldn't play Kojo Enchi's video on Ghana television
Why?
because he had Nubian locks.
Oh.
Yes. I mean, we've come a long way. I mean,
So,
we've been
so wait, you mean Achimota School didn't start today?
oh, I think
Just kidding.
I think we've been a self-hating people for a very long time. And I say this without a pinch of salt. We're very happy to praise strangers for doing the very things for which we would condemn one of our own. Recently I've read a few things that's made me very sad. And it's about one of the most respected businessmen ever in Ghana, Mr. Sam Jonah. I think he spoke at a Rotary function.
Yes, he did.
And I'm sure you all know about this.
Yes, we all do.
And he made some very clear points about things that are not so good that we could improve on.
The cultural
And
silence.
these are not points that he is the only person who has spoken up, about. But I've heard people rebutting him and insulting him in a way that saddens me because we're getting to a point where we will kill all our heroes before they die. And we've got to a point where a journalist or somebody who's working in some journalistic space is also attacking him. And I'm like, are you really attacking the issues that he has raised, or are you attacking the person? Because if you as a child you were taught anything about debate, the ad hominem response is unacceptable. You must look at the issues that have been raised and address the issues. When you don't address the issues and attack the person, you're showing your belligerence, or you're showing your hidden jealousy or hatred, or you're just trying to totally disrespect somebody who is above you. And when you get to the point where you too must be celebrated by others, they will bring you down. So you realize in all my interviews, I speak highly, if I have to mention GBC people, of Godwin Avenobo, of Tommy Ananforsen, of Freddie Kwaku. Because if you will kill your own heroes, what do you expect strangers to do to them?
That's deep. If you're gonna kill your own heroes, what do you expect strangers to do to them? And you know, this conversation kind of ties into what's been happening with our Galamsey issue. Recently, I came by something that a Chinese ambassador or somebody had said that you know, the Chinese do
are
not
very
know where
tongue-in-cheek, and you know
they don't know where the lands are. They don't know where the mines are. It's the Ghanaians that show them that.
If there was a Confucius Institute in Ghana, you know, the way the British set the British Council and the French set up the Alliance Française, if there was a Confucius
I
Institute,
think there's one that's been set up in one of the
I don't know, but
yeah, I think there is.
If there
I've
was
seen
one,
it
because in the
recently.
States,
Yeah.
you know, they sponsored a lot of
Confucius Institute,
universities, but now the American policy when Donald Trump was in there was to let them all go away.
Yeah.
If there was one in Ghana, I would encourage a lot of young people to go and learn it, because I have been fortunate, because I come from a royal family, to be taught the culture and traditions of the people of Adanse and the people of Asante. Because Asante are the people who fought and conquered the Adanse. When our warriors, the Achimfu, who are now the Achim, the warriors of the tribe who should have stood to safeguard the women and children, fled because they said the Ashantis will maltreat them. They fled and left the women and children. So Adanse has Achim and Ikuapim as our children, but our warriors fled. And then when they fled, some who were not too happy with what the warriors did also left them alone and moved on to Ikuapim. Now, if you look at this, right, and you look at us as a people, learn your culture, and if you can, learn the cultures of as many others as possible. Learn other people's culture to understand them, to know the best of them, and to know the worst of them. But don't be them.
Interesting.
Be yourself, no matter what they say.
I'm not gonna have this conversation alone. I'm gonna bring my panel into the conversation. We haven't gone into the branding and marketing part yet. For now, it's just the man Kwasi Kyei Darkwah. Sadiq, the man says you've been running away from lunch. Why?
No, I think that it just came just before the Ramadan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to fast as well. Yeah, but you should have sent a message to say, bro, I need to starve for a while in readiness for the big dinner.
Stop for a while. Yeah.
So Ramadan's often, like to take it more solemn.
I'm very
perhaps
proud of
that's
him.
right.
I'm proud of him for what he's done with 3.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm very, very proud of him.
Yeah.
And, it's my hope and prayer that all of us will give him support, so that if any one of us is also doing something, all of us can give them support. Because, too many times we all think we are competing. We're not.
No, we're not.
We're
We're not.
You see, some people are on the speedway.
Yeah.
Some people are on the avenue, some people are on the rough road, and some people are on a one-way street. And the truth is, if you want to see how fast other people are going, you will get stuck.
True.
Just do yours and have goodwill for others and do your best for them.
Exactly.
That's it.
Sadiq, your mic.
I was just listening. I was just taking away on the narration. Just trying to find a bit more on how he navigated out of the issues. Some of these problems that come could swallow you and, put you on something else. So, I was just enjoying it. Let's go one more round, enjoying it again.
Definitely.
I'm sure also very interesting questions, but I'm really enjoying the conversation.
I go again.
Yeah.
KKD is here.
Yes, KKD mentioned
Okay, start as a guest.
period before I left Ghana for the UK in the 70s, early 70s. These guys had just been introduced to radio, and their programs, those of us who loved music, they were the people we listened to on
There was
GBC.
James Amate as well.
James Amate, he was more of a newsreader, you know. And I liked those people at the time, and they all turned out brilliant. But he did say something that I disagree with. I disagree with. He mentioned the 3 things men look out for
in addition to many others.
in women.
In addition to many others.
No, well, you didn't say that. You didn't
No,
say
I-
in addition to many others at the time. Yeah, you didn't say in addition to many others.
no.
You made
know,
it categorical.
Can your producer cut that and play that? I like that because it helps.
Hold
No,
on.
no, no.
You know, I like
Okay,
to
even
I like
if-
to
if-
disagree on truth.
Yeah.
Even
So
if,
once you can establish truth, then you can have a debate.
nice one, KKD. I am not. I'm not saying.
So let your producer do his
no,
work.
I'm not saying you lied.
Philip, get to work.
Maybe you had in mind
Get it.
that, you know, amongst other things. But what I heard you say, and I missed the third one. That's what I'm looking for. When
I
it
help you
comes to
again?
men.
Should I help you again?
Yeah, let me mention the first 2. You don't know the one I missed. You know, I missed one.
You said you missed the third one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear the
So
ones that you gathered, Uncle Ken. Let's hear the
Yes.
ones that you caught first. Then
the
we'll.
ones I caught was youth,
Yeah.
Exactly.
beauty,
Exactly.
and what was the third?
Service.
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 Yes.
Service. But I said before all that, the first thing is a companion with
Exactly.
whom to journey for
Yes,
life.
you mentioned that as
That
well.
is the first
Yeah,
thing
that was the first. Before the
these
rest
3
would follow.
But the
There are so many
companion
others.
Yeah.
with whom you journey for life cannot necessarily or all the time be youthful.
No, but this is where you fail miserably.
Yeah.
Because everybody has peculiar things they seek in their companion.
Right.
But beyond those peculiarities, these you will find they run through for every male.
Okay.
And if you go
That
to the
youth,
female side,
youthfulness runs
Well, I
through
guess-
for
I guess-
how
every
young
man.
are you and your wife? Let me help. Let's use you as an example.
Right.
I'm going to use you as an example.
If
how,
you use me,
how young are you and your wife?
I met my wife.
No. How young are you
Currently.
and your wife?
When you
Whatever
say-
age you are right now,
Right.
and your wife.
What do you mean by that? I don't.
At your age
How old are
difference.
you and how
And
old
how old
your
is my
wife?
wife?
Yes.
I am 68. My wife is 67.
Okay. So
So I guess his answer doesn't speak to the theory you put out.
Yeah.
Because
does.
sorry,
Well,
because
good for you,
sorry,
Dada.
if I could,
well, good for youth.
No,
That
because a
Oh,
1 year, a 1 year
a
difference.
1 year gap
Still.
may not
Yeah,
necessarily
well,
be
for
youth.
youth, that-
Oh, you mean he
No.
went for somebody younger?
generally.
Okay.
See, I
But can we agree?
Yes.
Right? Just
Hold
a
on,
minute. Can we
yeah.
agree that maybe that's his subjective
Exactly.
view?
Exactly.
He's subject-
No,
that's
no,
all
if
I
could
wanted
land-
from
if I
him.
could land, if I could
Research,
land. No,
no,
I get that.
I
No,
said,
get
hold
that.
on.
I get that.
One
I get
voice.
that.
Yes.
I get that. You see,
Yes.
except to say that because there are those who probably might say that they like people who are older than them.
Exactly.
So I guess
will be in
Uncle
the
Ken's
minority.
point. Yes. So I guess Uncle Ken's
when
point
you
would
make
be.
these
No, KKD, hold on.
arguments,
Hold on. Let's
If I
have
you don't use the minority.
KKD, hold
I
on,
get
hold
Use
on,
the
hold on.
majority.
So you're speaking in general.
Exactly,
Okay,
the
that-
majority.
That
Okay,
sort of.
so-
but
so-
just
so-
you learn quickly.
Strictly
then-
speaking,
yes.
right? Maybe Uncle Ken might have to finish.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, Uncle Ken, please.
Yes,
please,
let
please.
Uncle
No,
Ken
no, no.
finish.
You're on the right path.
No,
Okay.
because my thinking is this: that I love the fact that he points to a research,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And I think I would love to glance at that research.
exactly.
And because when he said it, right, I saw it as an individual's taste
Exactly.
and
No,
preference. I mean,
not
if I
mine,
could
not
land,
mine.
if I could land. So I saw it as an individual's taste and preference, and I actually admire that. Okay. So, but I also understand where Uncle Ken might be coming from. So maybe it's a balance of my preference versus
Your preference.
and that's where it ends. So Uncle Ken, maybe I throw it back to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, if Kwasi did actually say
What he said before.
what he said before,
it's cool.
then it's cool.
Yes.
But I didn't hear
You
what
didn't
he
hear that.
said
That's why I
before.
said the
Oh, okay.
producer must be able to
Yeah.
play,
To play that back.
No,
I mean, we have the
that.
No, he
ability
said that. That one
to
we know he
play.
said
No,
that.
we have the
Yeah.
ability to play what has just been
Yes.
said on air.
Yes. Yes.
Can we recap?
Yes, we can. But
Can we do it for the first time on Joy? For the first time ever?
But KKD,
no, you know why?
two of us have
Let me
confirmed
say
that
this,
you did
because
say
Ken
that,
knows
so
this
we
too
know.
very
Yeah,
well.
Jesse has also
That
confirmed.
On the
Yeah.
Beeb or
Yeah.
any other
Yeah.
network
Yeah.
that takes language very seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't argue about speculation.
True.
You argue about the fact.
Yes.
And the fact situated in truth.
Exactly.
Because you can use facts to paint lies, right?
True.
So take that entire segment. Don't splice it. Don't edit it. Play that entire segment and then let them listen again before the commentary.
Then the
because
commentary begins.
I've heard on some morning shows around this country, and so I've got to the point where I'm virtually running away from listening to radio, where you have four people arguing, and they will not play the sound bite that they are arguing about,
But this is not
so
an
that the
argument.
listener
Will be informed.
can also be part of the conversation.
But see, this is not an argument.
No,
I'm
it's
not
not the
arguing
argument.
with
I'm
you.
talking about making it possible for the listener
I'm not
to
arguing
hear
with
what you are.
at all.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
you
I am only saying that if it was your choice of categories in which you can
Not
define.
mine. I didn't say mine. If
But
I want to
whose?
say mine, I
No,
will.
yeah,
and I,
the
I
youth-
said there's
hold on.
PhD research on that.
Yes, and I
So
disagree
can
with the
send you-
research.
Okay, so
Okay.
another thing.
All
I'll
I'm
do.
doing is disagreeing
Let me show
with the
you-
Okay,
research.
hold on,
I'm
hold on,
gonna
gentlemen.
teach
The
you
microphones are down.
something that might
Hold
have
on, hold on, hold on. One sec. No, hold on. Yes.
It says, Kwasi, on every platform, before you can say I disagree with you, find the point where you agree.
Yeah.
And so that egregious error has already been committed on this elevated platform
No.
by a very celebrated brother of mine.
I think we need to move on. I think we need to move on. Jesse, hold on. Before you come in, I think we need to move on.
I think we
Uncle Ken, you were making a point. I think the point is clear, and
No, his
you've
point
said
is
it
not
that
clear. I
if
don't
no.
understand his point.
His point is clear.
Point is this.
Allow him to finish.
I am saying that I disagree with beauty, youth, and service
That is fine.
as my main reasons or categories for which I will define a woman.
That is
for
fine.
myself.
That is fine.
I
Good.
disagree.
That is fine.
Okay.
And I'm
That is fine.
entitled to
And
disagree.
On
he's
that
entitled to
basis,
that.
he's
He's
making a
entitled to
straw
that.
man argument.
No.
Please
I'm
Google straw man
entitled to
argument and read it back to the
disagree.
panel.
Hold on.
guys. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
You're
I
making
think
a
we need
straw
to.
man argument.
I think we need to move forward.
Because you are not addressing
I
what
have
was said.
other attributes
No.
Okay, so
that
but
I
you're
would
not-
go for.
George.
KKD and Uncle Ken, both of you
No,
hold on.
George,
Both of you hold on.
You are
KKD,
making
hold
a
on.
mistake.
No, hold on.
This is
Hold on.
called a straw man argument.
Hold on.
Because you are not addressing the statement that was made.
No.
You are reconstituting the statement and arguing with your own reconstitution.
Okay,
KKD, I
so-
think the thing is
so
this.
George,
Jesse, hold on.
I-
Hold on. KKD, I think the thing is this. Even on research material, everybody can pass an opinion.
Exactly.
And
You are
his
discussing
opinion.
something else.
No. The thing
I'm
is this.
saying
Yes.
he's arguing not with what I said,
No, that's what he's
but
arguing.
with a reconstitution of what I said.
No. He is saying that though he agrees this is what was said.
George, this conversation is not fair.
Okay.
KKD
Yes.
speaks extempore from a research material which is not in front of us.
Yes.
I have absolutely every right to question the basis of that research.
That's why I said
I'm
we
not
should move
doing
forward.
that.
Yes.
So without having that material in front of me, I would probably say that that's a subjective view. Now, KKD can help us with the thinking and say that that research is based on findings in the USA, as an example, or findings in Nigeria, or findings in Ghana, or probably it was a global research. I would love that.
It was
So
global.
because he hasn't submitted
I've
that-
answered that question. It was global.
Good. But you see, I can't speak to it because I don't have it.
And I'm going to use us here as a very small example.
To do that, okay.
A very small example. So that if we go through us here only, I want some of us here to say, no. As for me, looking for beauty in my partner was totally out. Looking for service, because, love, they say, is just service to those you care about. Looking for service in my partner is totally out.
Yeah.
And looking for youth in my partner is totally out. Let's challenge those. And then when we have the women too, let them say, as for me, looking for fame in my partner or power in my partner or money in my partner is totally out. Aside of the prime one, which is somebody you personally like as a companion. Because as for liking, there is no way you can quantify it.
Truth.
You can like people without really explaining why you even like them. So you need to cancel a pen. Because but there are also tangible reasons in relationships why people choose others.
Exactly.
And this is what that research put across. And I've chatted with so many people, young and old. And then some will say, "Oh, I've had ladies who will say, no, media me pay fame."
Yeah.
And then I've had people go, "No, I prefer fame because I'd rather go out with a man who the Nobel Prize. I mean, the guy who was Nobel himself.
Yeah.
I want the name. And then somebody will say, "I like power." And then they'll say, "Okay, power comes in different forms because there's political power, there's sporting power, because Michael Jordan has power, right? Beyonce now has both
Sadiq has power.
fame and power."
Yeah.
So
I'm in opposition.
you may say no, but you realize after saying no for the purposes of argument, as a friend of mine who is a lawyer did some time ago on a panel, your point happened to Obama in channels you, because you didn't American radio no suko.
All right, let's go. So Uncle Ken, okay, we need to move on. We need to move on. Uncle Ken, so you had the
Ken
microphone.
doesn't like beauty in a woman.
No.
He doesn't like.
Let's allow Uncle Ken to finish. Okay, let's allow Uncle Ken to finish. Yes, Uncle Ken.
That's
Sadiq, are you Uncle Ken? Uncle Ken, go ahead.
I have said enough. All I am saying is very simple.
Yes.
I said I would not rate those 3 attributes
Okay.
as mine
Yes, you Uncle Ken.
choice
Exactly.
in
Yes,
looking
Yes.
for a woman.
That's
don't
all.
you inform us
That is
about
all.
yours?
That is all. No, KKD, I think we should. Jesse.
I think that
Yes,
was,
you haven't spoken. Let Jesse speak now. Yeah. Yeah, Jesse.
So
no,
I
Sadiq had
probably,
spoken.
I probably
then we
would
went
move
to
away
Uncle Ken.
from the attributes
Yes.
and go to the baseline of the conversation that we have
Important.
had.
Yeah.
So when I was coming to the show, I remember watching Boston Legal one time, and I heard a word, and I'll put a word out. The word is Schadenfreude.
Who?
Schadenfreude.
I don't know the word.
Having pleasure
So
from other
Schadenfreude
people's pain.
is spelled
It's
SCHADEN.
Schadenfreude.
Freude. Now,
Schadenfreude.
the Schaden part means harm, and the Freud is joy, and it's the experience of pleasure, joy, or self-satisfaction that comes from learning of or witnessing the troubles, failures, and humiliations of another. Now, so George, whether we like it or not, we're in a society where there are those who might take pleasure in the fall of others. Whether the fall of others is triggered by the individual's foolishness or is triggered by mere rumor. There are those who take pleasure in that. And since you say this is phase 1 of the conversation, I did a checklist for me on what would be in the consideration set if you find yourself in a pool like this. Okay? I think surviving it means this. Who are you? And who are you is the first question you need to answer. If George found himself in a rape allegation, Jesse found himself in a rape allegation, and KKD found himself in a rape allegation, who you are would mean a lot to the media, to the people, and it would draw some kind of attention to you that might see your case get worse quick or get solved quickly. So in the first step for me in the journey is who you are as a person. That's number 1. Number 2 is who do you know? And we've said who do you know many times. And I'm happy that KKD, for instance, said that, oh, you showed up.
Yes, I did.
And I remember when his issue happened, there were seasoned individuals who stood by him.
Yeah.
And he himself spent time to thank them. I remember, I think the secretary to the president
Yes.
was one of the
Nana
people who
Bidi
stood by
was
him.
there. Yeah.
And therefore, if you have a particular image of yourself, or you've probably grown building some affiliations, there are people who might show up for you. And you see, we live in a society where we like both the real and the plastic. And I'm not saying that his was plastic. I'm just saying that we live in a society where people might appreciate both the real and the plastic. And so depending on who also shows up for you, managing the problem becomes a little bit easy. Number 3 is what's your gender? And George, for me, this is one of the most unfortunate parts, right? So a woman is judged differently from a man in case of some issues. So a married man cheats, it makes the headlines. A married woman cheats and makes the headlines. Which one trends the more?
The man. No, the woman, actually. The woman. It is a concept of a man
Exactly.
biting a dog or a dog biting a man.
From a scandal perspective, right, there are some sexes that are judged even much more differently. And again, I'm limiting myself to the common sense sexes of
Yeah.
man and a woman.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the others. And so there are times where you might get to a point where even there's a gender perspective to managing of scandals. So if a woman go born outside and she's married, and a man go born outside and he is married, one is discussed and chastised heavily by the society in a different way. And I'm not speaking about what should be, I'm speaking about what is.
Yes.
Good. Next for me is wealth. See, if you have a lot of money, you probably don't have to be locked for long if you have an issue. And again, I will speak about the two issues that might come up. So as an example, if your scandal is criminal in nature, then there are criminal persecutions. If your scandal is moral in nature and is not criminal in nature, the dealings with it are a little bit different. So, and again, so George, it's a very big thing. Depending on how much money you have and what kind of influence you have, and if I've built a police station for the community or I do a lot of things, my arrest is even different, George. And the way my issue is discussed a little bit different. And I'm seeing all of this in relation to how maybe our brother here may have been treated and others may have been treated. Next one again in Ghana, and George, for me this is super important, is scandals also take political perspectives or political tones in Ghana. So depending on which political party you belong to in this day and age, if your scandal hits, you are less likely to get a bashing from one side than the other. Because we live in a country where we found a way to try and explain everything from a political perspective. Again, this is just me doing a cursory view as a baseline.
There's only one main one that, like Uncle Ken did with KKD, said
Yes.
I may not totally agree with it. The
Yes.
wealth bit.
No, I'll get there.
Yeah,
I can come back to it.
Okay.
And then the last one for me, right, is even before we deal with the brand conversation, right, is sharing of contents about gossip and about scandals, right? Somebody says that, why don't you get the full facts before you speak about it? And we always say that. Now, when there's good news about it, do people get the full facts before they share your content? Question. Do they?
The good
It
world,
depends.
The good world will quickly
Yeah.
share the good news,
Good, good.
and the ill world will quickly share the bad
The bad
news.
news.
Good.
That's
So-
how it goes.
So,
Yes.
so I guess it's this, that if I say today I've been appointed by the president of Ghana as deputy minister for communication, you might not find the details in terms of what's your salary, what's your job descriptions. You are happy to share my joy.
Yeah.
So you're a quick trigger finger on Twitter, you share it immediately.
Yeah.
So in the same vein, if they say, oh, Jesse go eat some 13-year-old girl for a gesso, you probably might not again in that same light instinctively say, oh, let me go and find out when did he go to a gesso? Who did he see? Is it true? No. So you share it immediately.
No, the ill world shares.
Yeah. No, so again, I
It's
want
not
to
everybody.
speak from a position of what is. And that's what happens today. So these 7 things that I've mentioned, George, are probably what are my scope, my thinking around. Now you speak about wealth. Look, let's be fair. There are individuals who may have gone through a scandal and never survived because George, the media might not speak for you. You don't have the money to have a good lawyer. You don't have the money to go through a good bail. Your issues are discussed in a very progressive way.
Just
And you're-
a point of information.
Yeah, okay.
If the individual is neither known nor held in high esteem,
Yes.
it is not even a scandal.
Yeah,
Because if you want to say scandal, then the person must have been previously known or maybe held in high
There must be
esteem.
some level
Because
of
if it is
visibility.
just
Yeah,
Yes,
an ordinary
someone
person
knows
is not a
person,
big
but
deal.
then
question
it's
is
not
on
a
wealth.
scandal.
The question
Okay,
is on
no,
wealth.
no, just
Yeah,
hold on.
and the question is on wealth.
Again, so
Yes.
it means for this conversation, we're focusing mainly on Ghana.
Because
Because
in
look,
my case-
Bill
Yes.
Cosby and R. Kelly, they were not poor when they were
George,
arrested.
No,
Yes.
George, let me use.
Yes. No, no, again, it's okay. We're not talking. We're not.
But
sit
Jesse,
with-
what about
If I can
when a wealthy person
Yes.
or a famous person or a
Yes.
powerful person
Yes.
is being lied about?
Okay, so let me project 2 individuals in this room.
Because right now,
let me do a
right
projection.
now, you're making it from the point of
When you're guilty.
once it is alleged, it is true that all your postulation.
no.
You
No,
haven't
which
said
one?
so.
Which one?
You
Which
haven't
one?
said so.
Yeah, which one?
But the total postulation about even how
Okay, so-
when you hear good news, you share, and that is why I made a very quick interjection there.
Yes.
When you hear good news, the good world quickly share good news.
Okay,
When you hear bad news, the bad world quickly share bad news, because if I hear somebody say Ken has stolen somebody's car, the first thing that comes to my mind is no, it is not
I'm
possible.
indifferent about who shares. KKD, I'm indifferent. I guess my point is this, that I'm looking for the correlation between those who have money and power and influence. How they are treated by society is different from those who don't wield the same power.
In
terms of
Ghana, they are
standards.
hated more.
So I want to put, you see, so
In
you're not,
Ghana, they are
hold on,
hated.
Hold
Hold
on, no, KKD. I think let's allow one person to land before we interject.
KKD,
Yeah,
hold
let's
on,
allow
hold on.
one person to land
Fair.
before we interject.
I want
Yes.
to project.
Yes.
I want to project
Yeah, hold on,
two
hold on.
individuals, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sabi, what can I treat him? I'm What's me by you?
English, please.
Oh, I quickly
Our
translate
listeners,
it, but,
our listeners,
allow him.
our
allow him.
listeners identify the
Allow
station
him, allow him.
with
When
English.
classic men speak to you, allow them. When
Okay, so far as you're going to translate after, yeah, or Sadiq will do the translation for you.
if the way KKD's issue was handled,
Yes.
he thinks that it was overstretched.
That's how intro.
No, KKD, hold on.
And
Hold on,
Oh,
KKD,
yeah,
hold on. And KKD, in all fairness, just before you continue, I think though those of us who knew from the beginning, and at
All
least
the
now
journalists
everybody
knew
knows.
it was a
No,
lie.
KKD, hold
Let
on.
them
KKD, hold on.
It was
KKD,
a
hold
lie.
on.
Obi and himself
KKD,
and
hold on.
Trump.
Hold
Feeding on it,
on.
and I'm like, hey.
Debbie, in all honesty, enya ubia nana inimse eyentro. Let's be fair to the journalists. Sometimes journalists do their work as journalists. If news should break right now that Kennedy has raped somebody here at Multimedia.
Why are you using
I'm
my
using
name
Ken.
for-
When
Okay.
I use Ken, I use cars.
Sorry,
and then
if
you're using-
news should break right now that Sadiq Abdullah Abu,
Have money.
Sadiq will
Eh?
do that.
Has won an election.
Ghana intro.
Has made a lot of money.
okay.
No, but the good thing.
And in all honesty, no, hold on. Scandal,
Well, you see,
scandal.
I'm hoping
No, let
that
me.
this discussion
No, I
will
just want us
lead
to exactly.
What do we do in
No, we'll
future
get there.
when
No.
we hear
KKD,
things that we
that
have
is-
not verified
KKD.
about
Yeah.
others?
That is part of the
Oh, yes,
conversation.
Emre.
Hold on.
Yes, Emre.
Gentlemen, hold on. Microphones are down. Hold on. Microphones are out. Hold on. The star, the brand, the scandal. Can a celebrity effectively survive and bounce back from the worst? This is what we're talking about today, right here on Showbiz A to Z. And we have Kennedy in the studio, Sadiq Abdullah Abu in the studio, King Kwasi Kyei Darkwah is in the studio, and Jesse Amwe Japong is also with us in the studio. Okay? We are having conversations with KKD and we're weaving all these in. And KKD will be sharing a lot of experiences with us as we go along, of course. So that, and also because he's a brand and communications expert. And what we are discussing is key. But just put this in focus that a scandal is not only sexual. A scandal isn't only sexual per se. Okay? A scandal is not only sexual. There have been instances, for instance, the Jagapi issue was not sex related. It was murder. It was not sexual. Yes, Sadiq.
It's a profile to now discussing the issues. The topic.
No. I wanted Jesse to come in. Jesse took us into the issue, but I just want to finish with a personality profile of KKD before we get into it. So just wrapping up on the KKD personality profile. Kwasi, selling
Jesse
Ghana.
took us.
Yes. No.
Is going to be recurrent.
No,
in
we'll come back.
everybody's submission.
We'll come back.
Because you see, Uncle Ken, George.
Hold on. No. Let me finish the personality interview quickly, then we'll come back to it. So hold your horses. There's a part of KKD's personality profile that I need us to go to. There be
George,
me
I think the
ban- hold on.
panel will overrule the interviewer
Hold on.
for the first time.
Hold
in
on.
broadcast history.
KKD, hold on. You see, Jesse took us a little into it a bit early. I wanted him to make an initial comment on your personality interview so far. Yes, that's why. You took us in a bit early. That's why I'm bringing. And I didn't want to cut because the fire was,
Where's your producer? I want to shoot your producer.
Don't shoot the
producer is
producer.
not segmenting his
Don't
thing
shoot the
well
producer.
for you. Where is he?
So KKD, let us move into it. Selling Ghana seems to be a problem. I remember recently
It's
there was
not a problem.
There was a case with No, let me land. I haven't asked the question. Let me land. When I ask the question, when I land, you would understand the premise. When I land, you will understand the When I land, you would understand the premise. Now, the premise is this. There was a case recently where Exim Bank, tried to recruit popular Ghanaian
The
artists.
chairman is my friend, so I have
Shatta Wale.
nothing bad to say about that.
It's nothing bad to say about them at all. They tried to recruit Shatta Wale to sell Ghana in a way. And Ghanaians seem to have a problem with the idea that the money that was quoted was about 2 million. Now, you work with the Ghana Export Promotion, is it Center or Council?
Investment Promotion
Investment
Center.
Promotion
I was the
Center.
director of public affairs and communications over 13 years ago. That's a long time.
What was the key function of that agency?
The essence of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center is to promote our nation and her people as a fabulous investment destination so that people from all around the world who have money, who have knowledge, who have skill, who have ideas, and who want to grow these exponentially will look at Ghana as one of the key places where they'll go and do business. Essentially, that is what the Ghana Investment Promotion Center is about.
So you were to sell Ghana.
So to make it short,
Yeah.
we promote and sell Ghana.
You
That's
promote
it.
and sell Ghana. Now, during your time, did you try to recruit any celebrities, musicians, actors, actresses? Did you find it relevant?
It is always right to have a good CEO who has a clear vision about what they want to do. 13 years ago, when I was at the GIPC, Kofi Annan was still in business and alive. And he was one of the most visible Ghanaians from around the world. So everywhere Kofi Annan would go, anywhere in the world, where he would speak and people would recognize him as a Ghanaian, that was good enough promotion for us as a people.
Right.
Azuma Nelson was still quite active even though he wasn't boxing. So anywhere Azuma Nelson would go or his material would be shown, that was something that we could package and sell Ghana for. The Black Stars were still known all around the world, so we could use them. We didn't feel the need at the time to use any musicians to sell Ghana. But that does not mean some chief executive cannot choose to use musicians or actors to do that.
Great.
I mean, Oswald Boateng was in London doing his fashion work. He's a fashion designer of Ghanaian heritage. He was working, and every time he says his name, people know he's Ghanaian. The first ever cabinet minister in the UK of African heritage, Paul Boateng, was in England.
Yeah.
Everywhere he went and he spoke, people knew he was Ghanaian. And that is good for us. You know, so my CEO at the time, Robert Ahumka Lindsay, was key on certain things that he wanted us to do with our key messaging. And our key messaging sold our music, our arts, and our traditions as well, because all our festivals, we would talk about them, you know, in the programs that would, send out to people. But most of the investors were not looking for those. They were looking for the laws in your country.
Okay.
They were looking for governance in your country. They were looking for freedom of speech in your country. They were looking especially about land laws in your country.
Interesting.
They were looking at repatriating their investment cash from here outside, in your country. So you don't just sell by telling people what you want to tell them. You find out what it is they're looking for. Because when you go fishing, you like hamburgers, you like fufu and groundnut soup, but you don't take hamburgers and fufu when you go fishing. The fish like worms. So it is worms you put on the hook. So we find out what are the investors from the Scandinavian areas, Iceland, Sweden, Norway, what are they looking for? What are the investors from North America looking for? What are the investors from, East Europe looking for? What are the investors from Turkey looking for? And then we curate our communication to reach those
tailor
investors.
the needs.
So if
Pretty
somebody
interesting.
feels that at this point in time, there are investors around the world who are looking at the possibility of putting money into our entertainment business and therefore feels the need to use musicians, I say kudos to them. But we shouldn't just criticize people for the sake of criticizing. And I think it's important for all of us. Don't criticize what you haven't even yet taken the time to understand, because it's ultra-crepidarian. You haven't learnt about the
Sorry,
subject.
it's just what?
Ultra-crepidarian.
What does that mean?
And so expert.
So what does it mean?
No,
Ultra
no, no. Ultra-crepidarian.
When you do not understand something, but you try to speak to it as an expert.
And so expert.
Ah, okay.
And Ghana won't say, yeah, well, ultra-crepidarian football managers, 30 million.
Yeah, those from
What's I say? So the thing is, we're making it look like education doesn't matter. It matters. Every one of us here has had some, first and foremost, the upbringing
Yeah.
before the education or the apprenticeship. Because you'll be a degree. But to be home apprenticeship or the things they will learn from the apprenticeship, it gives them more skill than the degree holder. And that is why we have so many unemployable graduates. And Sam Jonah speaks about it. And ultra crepidarian people attack the man instead of attacking the points he raised. The man has raised serious points. Let the people who are specialists on every one of those 6 serious points address them instead of threatening him and saying we can bring up your past. No, what kind of political bullshit is that?
Sorry,
not you know
BS is not BS is not healthy.
Listen,
it's not good for us.
I've been here.
Yeah.
My father, my father's properties were confiscated. Our Mercedes was used to carry rubbish in Tema. Because we are born home on the only Oma teach you Oma Pisika. Oma Nisika, Oma de show Oma to me, Oma Quabridge, and Obi time womo, and he say Oma Juma. Obi so the Abone bra. He's been at the highest level of every position in the Ghanaian mine, from the pits to managing director. Why ye Juma, we wakwatina ni baby. So I bone penya, where are we nimonaka? But he's seen what is wrong with the nation, which is also his. Ghana is not for any political party or any politician or appointee or their assigns or minions. Ghana is for all of us.
Point well made.
When we see something that is wrong, let's speak about it with courtesy and with dignity.
KKD, hold on.
Respond, but let them not insult.
Allow them. Okay. The point, I like what you said, with courtesy and dignity. For the benefit of our listeners, can we please take back the BS word?
Then Baba Sando na mekain.
Back hand.
Okay.
The ball,
it's withdrawn.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Great. Now, moving forward, one last part, and then we go into the other part of the conversation. Are you comfortable speaking about your son?
My son? He's an adult, so I don't think it's my business to discuss him. He's old enough to discuss him. If he's a child, then yes. But he's an adult. So if you want to talk to him, call him.
Great.
Yeah.
How do
he
you
works in the media.
Yeah.
So if you want to talk to him, call him. My daughter also does her work. If you want to talk to them, call them. Right now, they're adults. I'm 55. My son is 27. My daughter is 25. So at this point, anybody who wants to have a discussion with them should speak with them. I don't think I'll be here calling anybody and saying, I want to talk to your son. If your son is an adult, I'll be calling and talking to them. So, George, waiting, Kakra.
Perfect. Means here. That's why I asked if you were comfortable before I'd ask the question. So we are not going to ask the questions at all. We hit the street when we told people we're going to be talking to you, and here are some of the things some of them said. Take a listen.
Me, I'm learning how he dresses. His dressing is on point, and I like how he speaks, the language, like the English is on point. I think about his son, right? Being a gay, I think it's very bad. As a dad, I think he should sit the boy down and talk sense into the boy's head.
His style of dressing is fashionable life. I like that so much. It's always on point. It's color blocking. I mean, his way of dressing is superb, and it's my role model when it comes to fashion.
With his fashion sense, and I really like his fashion sense because I'm looking up to him. I want to dress like the way he's always on point.
It's Showbiz A to Z.
We're having a conversation with the man King Kwasi Kyei Darkwah, who has done numerous works with Kojo Nchi, and that's how come you hear this song in the background, Pour Some Sugar. Kegiri, what is it with you and Kojo?
I like geniuses.
Mm-hmm.
There's something to learn from geniuses, and in all fairness, wherever I go in the world, I seek out geniuses. There's something about them, and you can learn so much from just having an hour of conversation than you can in 7 modules of, culture promotion or commodification of culture elsewhere. So I love just listening to Kojo. I love listening to Nana Kwame Ampedu, and I love listening to Ejako Onimo. I have learned so much sitting at their feet, and they're just interesting. But Kojo, beyond being such a great example of human being, is an extremely talented songwriter. And I've always said, when I listen to music as I travel around the world, I find that Kojo Enchi and Lionel Richie are way up there when it comes to songwriting than most around the world. And
Great.
I just admire him for his craftsmanship as well when he's on stage. So everybody who wants to do music, whether you're Ghanaian, Nigerian, South African, if there's somebody who is as good as Kojo Enchi that listen to them, converse with
Closer
them,
to the person. Great.
learn from them. We all learn
Sadiq,
till
you
we
want to say
die.
something?
Okay, we just wanted to find out what really happened to Megastar. I mean, I know I was very young to understand exactly what was going on with Megastar, but in industry often has been one of the reference points where you talk about organizations that was meant to be something that couldn't become.
Well, it did become, but it depends on what you were projecting for them. Every company has a mission. I mean, it would be wrong for you to sit here and say Jesse's company didn't become because you don't know his mission nor vision. So I don't know what you were projecting onto Megastar. Could you explain that?
I was making the point about references in the media. When we were looking back to music and how organizations came and went, and organizations that were seen to be in a position to take Ghanaian music to that next level, but couldn't. But that's why I said that.
No, what
I
do you
was
mean
young
it
to
couldn't? You
understand
see,
that
that's what, this is why I like to people to clarify what they mean. When you say couldn't, what do you mean? I mean, like, we're here in Ghana, and we have a national cultural policy that says 70% of your content should be Ghanaian. Ken, you know the national cultural policy, don't you? 70% of the content should be Ghanaian.
It is not law, though.
It's not law, but it's a natural cultural policy which we are not forcing on ourselves, which we should use to help ourselves create employment and generate income for ourselves. I mean, I've had a sit down with Kwame Yeboah, one of the most talented instrumentalists in the world. And also I've had a sit down with Zap Mallet, one of the most, talented instrumentalists in the world. They are both coming up with jazz record albums this year. So that's going to enrich your program.
No, Zap already has
a
jazz album.
Okay.
So my point here is we have a country where we have a national culture policy that says play 70% of your music. I was on radio, so I have done it. And I know it's possible. Even when I was doing Pops on the Move, which was essentially an import program, I would inject Ghanaian music into Pops on the Move. But is that what we're doing? We're not. So we, even in Ghana, are not promoting our own sufficiently. Yet you expect, yet you expect a Ghanaian business, whether it is Hammer or Richie Mensah, to carry his artists, go to the East Coast or the West Coast in America, and then they play theirs.
Interesting.
We haven't done our homework.
Okay.
See, we play
This one,
enough of our
no.
own
Kanadi,
music.
Sadiq, and everybody. This one is going to go into our time. This is another
We
topic for a whole
we
different
don't
kind of
play
discussion.
Enough of our own. Look, I was
Kekere,
I
you're
did
very
a
right.
spe-
You're right.
I did a
No,
special
don't
program.
worry. You don't even have to say too much. I agree with you 200%. We need to push our own more. Let me take a few messages, then we'll come back, and because we have just about 40 minutes, and then we get we get out of the studio. This one says. Let me see. Says, good day, George, and my star girl, Noella. Happy new month to you all. I'm just here to give you a shout. Tuned in from Nyungwa. This one says, okay. The messages have disappeared. Okay. Emmanuel Joe Pepraman Science Alabadi says, good day, bro. With fame comes scandal. Notwithstanding, it's not impossible to disagree that celebrities can effectively survive and come back from a scandal. Time and again, celebrities have found themselves in some of the most controversial year-defining situations, getting caught in secret affairs, being arrested for shoplifting, or tragically being accused of sexual assault. In Europe, the stars largely come back victoriously, unlike Africa, where our icon celebs have to battle stigmatization, low self-esteem, notwithstanding the celebs with strong mindset, psychological impetus, and solid branding strategy bounce back. Shining examples are Burna Boy from Nigeria, Emilia Brobe from Ghana. Hi, KKD, I'm happy to see him on your show. Please allow him to talk about 70% of the show. Oh, listen to the voice. Okay. That one just got lost from my screen. Okay. We'll take the messages. Okay, there it is again. There it is again. Oh, listen to the voice. Jesus Christ, I'm recording everything. Thank you. I'm Kujus Sechi, Community 4 Tema. KKD is a holy institution. He is full of wisdom when he speaks. This one says, his voice alone, you could tell that he is good for the job. Radio needs you. Wow. George, I want you to ask KKD what happened between him and KOD during the scandal. Okay, and how their relationship is right about now. That's from Babs Insider Billing Pay. Okay. So, gentlemen, we're coming back to the final part of our conversation, which is, probably, let's say, a talk of branding and how to manage your personal brand. And KKD put it right. If you're not a celebrity, if you're not famous for whatever, it's probably not a scandal. Uncle Ken.
Before I get to that,
Yes.
I said to you before that Jesse raised the issue about KKD's matter.
Yes.
That came up.
Yes, that's where
And
we're going now.
Correction.
Yes.
I want
Jesse raised the issue about the false allegation
Yes.
against KKD.
Yes.
Please
I'm
choose
coming to
what
that.
side you're on. You can
No,
either
KKD,
be ill-willed
KKD,
or
let me
good-willed.
speak.
No, KKD, I
Let me
think
speak.
at
Let me
this
speak.
point, everybody
At
knows.
this point,
Once you've
let's
been...
speak.
The point
Let's
I
say
want
the
to make.
truth
KKD,
at this point
Yes.
I am
about the
going
false
to-
allegation
Allegation.
against KKD.
Okay, I am going to speak.
I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to
speak.
Debbie, menya utamfo, menya utamfo. KKD,
Interesting.
menya utamfo. The point I'm trying to make is everybody that has been part of this show or has been listening to this show for the past years, and when that matter came up, will tell you that I was one person on this show that never believed the accusation that was leveled at you. I was one person. 100%. I never believed that accusation. And prior to that, we had been pushing on this show for the law that allowed people to rush into a police station
Yeah.
to make accusations.
I remember.
And immediately that accusation is made, the person is denied bail.
Yeah.
I was one of the people who
I
were
remember.
always pushing for that legislation to be thrown aside.
Yeah.
So we were so happy, and we made so much noise about it on this show when Martin Kwebu went to court and achieved that judgment from the Supreme Court.
Martin is a very brilliant friend of
Yes.
mine. Very brilliant friend of mine. And
So I'm trying to let you know that, no, I was happy because nobody can just get
Ken,
up.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
and
I'm
accuse
just
people.
saying, if you're saying so, then please situate your statement correctly by saying the case of the false allegation against KKD. If you find those words too heavy to say,
No, I
then
don't.
I will find
I
it
don't.
difficult
I don't.
to believe.
No,
what
I
you're
think-
saying.
I didn't
yes.
put it
Do you
that
understand?
way.
But-
I didn't put it that way.
But hold
I
on.
just-
Okay, Uncle Ken, go ahead. Go ahead so that we can manage the time. We don't
I
have a lot
didn't
of
put
it.
it that way.
Yes.
The way you wanted me
Hey,
to
now,
put it.
Yes.
Woman, I
But-
say, me, meaning
but-
some of those
No,
are-
let's go on.
But
Don't
you
worry.
people who are
KKD,
by
let's
themselves,
go on.
you chop my girlfriend.
KKD, let's go on. KKD, let us go on. Don't worry. KKD, the case is over. Let us go on. If you speak... No. Don't worry. Because we're trying to educate. No. We're trying to educate. Yes,
Jesse
KKD.
said that here too.
Yes.
If you are saying the case is over, and you know that it was a false allegation, why then, when I have worked hard to, as I'm speaking, my company is working on a show right now, and I've left that to come here. If I knew this was what you were discussing.
Oh, KKD, do you know why we're talking about it? We're talking about it because many people go into that situation and are not able to come back. So we just want to know how KKD did it. Yes. Just to find a common ground. Yeah. Yes.
Let me finish.
No, let Uncle Ken. Okay.
I will feed into you. I'll feed into just one line.
Yes.
KKD, just for the purpose of the announcement. Regrettably, he didn't see the announcement.
Yes, exactly.
So one word in the announcement was scandal.
Yes.
So I want to try and read a definition of a scandal from what I've picked up.
No,
It's not just for you.
That
it's
would be
not for
going
you.
too low.
No,
My
no,
point
it's
is,
not- okay,
my
KKD,
understanding was they were coming to
no.
discuss
No,
my
KKD, that's
career.
not it. That's not
My
it.
career. That's what my
Okay.
communication to
Okay,
me.
KKD, respectfully, if it was just
Okay.
about your career, I wouldn't have come to the show also.
Okay.
I probably would have also stayed at home. Because, you see, then my thinking is that we are celebrating KKD today.
Yes.
And then also
How do you
have him...
celebrate somebody
Okay.
by picking the one
Okay.
thing which was a lie against him, which was meant for by bad people to destroy him, and that has consumed most of the time we have on the program.
KKD, hold
Let's
on.
be honest.
Hold on, gentlemen. Hold on. Uncle Ken, hold on. KKD, everybody admits that what happened to you was wrong. You went through the motions in court, and it has been proven that you were innocent. That is how come the case was eventually thrown out. The reason we're here is that if people are going through such situations and we cannot use experiences to educate them, then why do we go through the experiences? KKD, your experience, yes, yes, Jesse.
KKD, Mr. One, an action or event
Yeah.
regarded as morally or legally wrong and causing general public outrage.
Correct.
So I'm not here to say that you were, because all of us had our individual opinions.
Right.
So it's not about anybody being wrong. But the poster says that how do you come out of something like this
Exactly.
and be greater?
Exactly.
So even all the examples that George put on
Exactly.
social media, KKD did not even feature
At all.
So that's why I'm surprised that that's what we're
So,
discussing
so
now.
which is why,
you know,
let's go back to the baseline
That's the
and
point.
say that, look, how do we project positively? So, Uncle Ken, I'm back to you. I beg. I just wanted to
That is
reconcile this
KKD,
thing so
and
we
that
can
is
move.
it is not to make you look bad or to tell people this is what happened to you and why you're here. It is just to let people know that after going through this, how are you still KKD? How do you
working.
do it? That's all we want to share
People
with
know the
people.
truth.
That is what we're doing. That's why we're here. Nobody is here to make you feel or look guilty. That is all. You know, and we'll be speaking to Notidia at some point. Uncle Ken, please finish your
I'm
point.
fine
Yeah.
now.
You're fine now.
Now that he understands that
I don't
nobody.
understand.
You
I've
still don't
accepted,
understand.
but I don't understand.
You still don't
Sometimes
understand.
you must accept even though you disagree, and when you must disagree and still not be disagreeable. That's it.
KKD, if I may ask, do you think that what you went through and what you are now is an inspiring story that might change somebody's life someday?
Every day we are alive is an inspiring story.
So what we are doing today,
because
do
some
you think it
people-
can
some
educate
people
somebody out
haven't
there?
Woken up. I think there is something that out of this everybody can benefit, which is as simple as this: don't go and tell a lie. End of story. There is no other story.
And now if
Don't
you go and tell a lie.
Don't go and tell a lie. And maybe we should have some punitive action
Okay.
for those who go and tell a lie. Because let me give you a few examples. As part of this research, you will find, if you like, go online and find women who lied about rape.
Yeah.
A young lady lied that she was raped by two young men. Why? Because she wanted the attention of another young man in her school. One of these two young men was going to get, I think he had a basketball scholarship. He was put away.
You lost it.
So the basketball scholarship was taken away. His life was destroyed. Over 7 years later, she confides in a friend of hers that she lied. No, the hers wasn't even over 7 years later. Hers was less than 1 year. She confides in a friend that, she lied because she was trying to just get the attention of another guy so she would get the pity from the other guy. Another woman lies that she's been raped because her boyfriend, who is a drug dealer, shares the same turf with another guy. So she lies that somebody has raped her. Her own boyfriend has slept with her. They did not even test the semen. The guy went to jail for more than 17 years.
Wow.
There are women in Ghana, and this story I heard from a young musician, a girl in Kaswa, who says, I can sleep with any man I want. And the guy says, that's bullshit. You can't. Says, all I have to do...
The word again.
sorry,
Please, let's not say
that's
it again.
BS.
Yes.
That's why I didn't say bullshit
Yes,
the first time.
yeah.
I said BS, and you wanted to fight
No,
that
no, no,
still.
no.
So, and she says, okay, that's shiitake mushrooms.
Yeah.
Okay, so she says, I can sleep with whoever I want. The guy says, that's nonsense. You can't say that. She says, so all I have to do is wear a tight dress, no underwear, and say I want to come and watch a video in his house. And when I'm lying down, I just spread my legs, and then he sleeps with me, and I go. And I'm like, what? That's entrapment. Any man who sleeps with her will go to jail. She says, but that's what she says she does. And I'm like, people actually say this and are proud of it. And then there are girls, even in Ghana, who lie that people have done things to them. Nothing. In my case, it wasn't a girl who did. It was a guy, because I am lucky. The girl said, no, I've not been raped. I will not say I've been raped. Right?
Yes.
But let us say this to everybody. Out of all the scandals you're talking about, all we want is tell the truth. There's a story of a Ghanaian woman in the United States of America bashing her own face, and her husband is filming. Why? She wants the husband out of the home so she can get social services to help her. Beating herself up, and the husband is saying, me film police if one bar me the bachelor woman. Why? Yes, there are some men who are evil, who will grab a woman, tear her clothes off, do things to her against her will. They must be put away. But there are women too who are evil. Nobody has touched them. And they will use this to gain pity, and use the pity to get some financial reward or whatever. Let's simply tell the truth.
KKD says the truth. Jesse, let me come to you.
Oh,
No, don't worry. Jesse, let me come to you. From a marketing communicator's point of view, a brand like Sadiq Abdullah Abu, CEO of 3 Music Awards, has had a scandal come to him. Some sponsor brought some 300 million euros to sponsor 3 Music Awards. Sadiq did not organize the event, and he disappeared. And he was arrested. You want Sadiq to go first? Sadiq was arrested. He came back, so you can gather your thoughts. Sadiq, how can you come out of something like this and still, is it even possible to come out of?
I've had my fair share of scandals.
Oh, really?
Oh, I mean, some of the tweets.
Oh, okay. Oh,
that
those
were
ones,
put
they are
out,
not scandals.
I mean, some of them, they are, George.
The people you still owe.
I mean, yeah, they are. Some of it, I mean, obviously, but after the fact,
Yeah.
I mean, and having discussions, some of it you could see from the intention was intended to railroad me.
Railroad
in
you,
a way,
yeah.
and break your defenses for it, because, I mean, the person was very emotive about it, you know. But I don't know, perhaps maybe we're thick-skinned enough, and, you know, we're so focused on a certain goal that the immediate challenges or the short-term challenges didn't hold myself or the team back, you know. But maybe I haven't also been faced with a very major criminal process or anything like that that would really, you know, what's it called, shake me to a certain point, you know. But it obviously will be a very difficult place for anybody to be in. Psychologically, that would be the first point of having to scale over everything else, you know. I can't shudder to think that I'll probably be able to successfully go through such a thing. But obviously, but I'm not looking forward to something like this. But I don't know. It will be difficult to go through the minds of how people really feel and are able to lift themselves off, I mean, such situations, you know. Yeah.
Let me bring. Hold on. No, hold on. Let me bring Uncle Ken before I come to you. Uncle Ken, from the family perspective, let us speak about the kind of pressure that these kind of allegations put on your family. I mean, you're a father and all that. I mean, let's assume any of us should encounter any of these. And I like the position you took when KKD's issue came. Without even being exposed to the full fact, you did take a stand.
You were here then?
Yes,
weren't
I
you?
remember very well.
Yeah.
Yes, I was here, you know.
I was
So,
vehement
Yes, I do remember. I recall that
in
very
my
clearly. So,
disgust.
what kind of pressure do you think it puts on a family, on the family of the celebrity or the subject matter?
It's terrible. Of course it's terrible. I mean, how can somebody just walk into a police station and just say to the police at that time that this is what has happened? And then the police, without any investigations whatsoever, apprehend the person and put the person in custody. And then when you are taken to court because somebody has come to make an allegation, you are not granted bail.
But Uncle Ken, that is only in the instance where it is not true, like KKD's. What happens to those ones where it is true?
Where it is true?
Yes.
Oh, of course. If it is true, then you have to go through a lot of hassle. And particularly if you are a well-known person working for a particular brand, you know. Let's look at...
There's a lot you lose.
There's a lot you lose, you know. Maybe not here in Ghana per se. Because here in Ghana,
The awareness.
I don't know too many people who have lost deals through scandals, so to speak. I don't. Unless Sadiq who's master of, who knows the business, might be able to tell me.
Stonebwoy did lose deals after
Because of
Ghana
the
issue.
VGMA.
After the
He lost the
VGMA issues.
Samsung
Yeah,
deal.
the Samsung deal
Yeah,
was
Correct.
lost.
He
Yes.
lost the Samsung deal.
Yes.
Okay. And did Shatta lose anything?
No, Shatta
none
interestingly,
none
the
that I
brand
know.
stuck
No.
to. I mean, stood by
They
him.
stood by him,
Interestingly.
This is what I'm saying. Here in our country, we do things differently. Elsewhere, when these things happen and you are in the wrong, George, you know what will happen to you. I remember when Tiger Woods had problems with his wife.
Yeah.
He immediately lost the
All the sponsorships, all the
Nike
endorsement deals, everything.
deal.
Yeah, they all just
You
pulled
know,
away.
They just all run away from you. So it's a very serious.
But how do you come back?
Um,
Tiger Woods is back.
Yeah.
And he's still doing very
and
well.
you know how you come back?
How do you come
back? You come back by being better in what you do.
I mean, there's
If because somebody like Tiger Woods came back, struggled a bit, and then won other major tournaments, and that drowned.
that's what.
That
For a long time.
yeah,
After a long time.
yeah. After a while, and
I mean, George, there's no one way around it. Sometimes, the often ones people use is the PR route, where they do a lot of things that will generate a certain level of goodwill with the hope that, I mean, you'll be able to regain it. But most often, it's hard to have to regain some of
I
these
can
things.
use myself as an example.
Okay.
I didn't have to do any PR. It was absolutely unnecessary for me. I mean, I'm a PR practitioner. I'm a brand practitioner. And one of the most important things that any brand architect will tell you is that be true to yourself. And if you have a brand, tell the truth. Any brand that lies eventually gets found out. That is what happened to the Marlboro Man. The Marlboro Man, the people behind Marlboro kept telling us that, there was no link between cigarettes and cancer. And so people kept smoking. And everybody who tried to step forward to say there is a link between cigarette smoking and cancer, they would quash you. They would go around different parts of the world and they would find who are the best lawyers and immediately engage them in a small case so that if you want to hire them to use them to prosecute them, you can't hire them anymore because they've worked for them before. So tell the truth. As for those who will be your detractors, whether you're successful or you're a failure, you will have detractors. And every brand has a public, a market that finds the brand appealing, and a market that is ambivalent to the brand, and then a market that also detests the brand. I mean, some people like Prada because of the woman, Miuccia Prada. She has a PhD. She's an intellectual. She says, I take ugly things and set them in a way that will appeal to people. And some people like Tom Ford, So if you like Prada, you may not necessarily gravitate towards a Tom Ford store. So if Prada gets a problem, you are not going to buy Prada anyway, right?
No.
Now, if you are true to yourself and you are honest about what you are and whatever brand pillars that you have, you continue to work on those brand pillars, like my brother has said. Just continue to be the best you can be. They'll find their way back to you. But those that really love the brand never left in the first place.
Jesse.
Because even though some pulled away from Tiger Woods, some said
still stayed.
it is his family problem. I love Tiger Woods because of his golf. I will not run away just because of this. Because some of them were like, okay, people are going to associate us with somebody who is violent towards a woman, so we've pulled away. Those people eventually ended up begging to come back again. Some who were never with him in the first place, apart from monetary benefit, they went, and naturally they wouldn't come back. So the first thing, and I was taught this as a child, be true to you. When I was lied about and taken to the police station in front of a Refe and a Refe's mother and the police, a crime officer and the commander, they asked me, do you know this lady? I said, of course I know her. We were at African Region together. I mean, we saw a show together. No, we spoke together. We kissed and we made
let us
love.
not go into
and
the
when,
details.
And when I said
I
that,
don't
they
think we
went,
should.
like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, but that's the truth. And they go like, oh, but do you know why you're here? I said, no, I don't know why I'm here. See, so if you will tell the truth will set you free. No cry
Eventually.
about it.
So for KKD, the word is truth.
Truth.
Jesse, what is the word for you?
Whatever brand you have
What is
truth,
it? How do
not
you
deception.
you've gone through it? It could be true, maybe not true. You've gone through it. I mean, but life must go on. Maybe it was true, and you went to serve a sentence, say 10 years, 15, 20 years. Maybe it wasn't true, but they held you, and you went through the motions, and you were acquitted and discharged. The case was thrown out. Either way, you have your freedom, like KKD has his freedom now. How do you work back? Because in our society, people can antagonize you even when you are innocent. Oh, is it not the person who did that thing? Oh, is that not that man Kennedy who plays that? Don't even listen to his show again. Oh, Sadiq, don't even sponsor his show. Have you forgotten what he went to do? So how do you work back? For KKD, it is being truthful. What would it be for you?
George, I begged Jesse to give me just 1 second.
Okay.
Something you
One
just
second
said.
over.
Something you just said.
Mm-hmm.
You gave us a list of Ghanaian
Yes.
celebrities
Scandals. Yes.
who have had certain
Yes.
issues.
Yes.
And it just occurred to me that the question you just posed,
Yes.
throw it back to the Ghanaian folks that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Has any of them suffered any setbacks
Oh, yes.
in
Quite a
their
lot.
career?
Yeah,
Apart from G-Man and
Goodies went to prison.
and
He's
those
out.
ones, the current ones.
Yeah, Goodies.
I'm
yeah.
looking at the
No, he's
current
out
ones.
now. I think he's a farmer now.
I'm looking at the current celebrities.
Even
that you
currently,
mentioned.
we could even argue about Weiser. Before Weiser had his issues, Weiser was arguably bigger than the. You don't get to hear a lot more about Weiser now. Or
What
Sadiq.
issue did he have?
Oh, Weiser,
Indecent
indecent exposure. He apparently pulled out his manhood on a stage.
Oh no, Weiser is not part
Yes,
of my.
you know, he pulled out. So that is a case where you're actually guilty of the crime. You know, he did pull out his manhood on a stage and had the issues to deal with. But just let's say you don't have a lot of time. So,
Okay, so on scandals.
yes,
I think we are in the period where content is more bigger than even being a king now. And we're in a period where the mainstream media seems to be sometimes playing catch up to social media and new trends. So people are instinctively, George, looking for content and filler all the time.
yeah,
And so even doing PR for a scandal is more complex in today's world than before. So it will be difficult for anybody to have a prescription to how to deal with it.
yeah.
So I probably will just share some few things based on my own issues and anybody else who probably I may have picked from. George, if you represent brands, right, I think that the first thing you need to do is to inform the brands you represent yourself.
That's
So-
you have a problem.
That, you see, when the speculation hits that I may have an issue and Samsung is a sponsor of my activity, I need to find a way of writing to them officially. Even if not giving them details, inform the brands you work with. There's a social uproar. You cannot behave like an ostrich and hide and wait for your brands to reach out to you. There are individuals who would write to the brands they represent and say that in the interest of sanity, I want to step away from the brand until the issue is over. There are people who might say to their companies that because of the nature of the allegation and the brands are being mentioned, Jesse, the employee of multimedia, is accused of ABCD. There are people who might say, let me step away from the multimedia brand and not
deal
have
with it.
my
Okay.
declining perceptual equity
Affect
affect
the brand,
multimedia
okay.
itself. So my belief is write to the brands you work with. If you are in the position to step aside until the dust settles, you do that. But make sure you inform the brands you're working with. That's number one. Number two is, George, is the case just a moral case or a legal case? If it's just a moral case, it's handling it becomes much more different than a legal case. Because a legal case means that you'll be arrested and sent to the police, and the complexity of that is a little bit different. If it's just a moral case, like you've impregnated somebody, and stuff, and therefore your wife is complaining and threatening divorce. That's a different issue altogether. If it's a legal case, for both cases, don't be quick to speak. And this is my observation in Ghana. Journalists would say to you that, oh, I know you don't want to talk about it, but just give us some small interview on it. Share your opinion. And so they give you a bait, and you would fall for the bait. In truth, whether it's a legal issue or a moral issue, find a lawyer and speak to a lawyer first, especially if there are legal connotations to it. Speak to a lawyer first. That's number one. Number two, if you feel it's a moral issue, first thing you do, and this is my approach, and many of us here have suffered the same thing, let the dust play itself out. You see, when you're standing in the dust and dancing around, the dust will keep on building up.
Yes, exactly.
See, so find a way to let the dust settle naturally. And I'm not saying it will settle in a day or two. It might settle in a year. But you see, as you dance, there are bloggers and everybody out there who's piggybacking on the thing and looking for your speaking to this person. Just imagine Funny Faces issue. We speak to this person's father, A, B, C, D here and there. So let the dust settle. And if it's a legal issue...
So by the dust settling, you mean do not speak to the press? Do not
see,
put
don't
out
be
any
quick.
statements?
No, exactly.
Do not...
See, George,
okay.
don't be quick
Yeah.
to speak to issues.
Yeah.
And see, for me, if I get an issue today, the last thing I would do is to grant an interview. Immediately it happens because your blood is boiling.
Yeah.
You are desperate. And in your desperation, if a journalist throws you a question and you don't have a composure like him might have, you might say things that you don't have to say. So I'm just saying that let the dust settle a little bit and relax. Calm your mind. There's a reason why there are individuals who are trained to be lawyers. There are the reason why there are individuals who are trained to be
Brand architects.
Brand architects. See, let somebody speak to you. George, number three is this, that one of the biggest impacts is what you ask Uncle Ken. Who suffers the most from your scandal? Probably your kids and your family. My belief is this, that if the scandal is not emanating from that side, then go to your family and speak to your family. Let your family be clear and be truthful there. George, the next thing that I'll speak about is this, that a legal clearance doesn't settle societal clearance in any way. So you might go to court, you might go to police, and they might say, okay, we think you didn't do it, or judge might throw the case out. But it would never erase the societal impression of you. It would never happen. So you would walk through life with a consistent stigma.
Won't it be to only those who do not want it to happen?
Like how explain?
No, you just said that a clearance from a court will not erase.
It doesn't erase the public
perception.
Yes.
And I'm saying that it will not erase the public perception of those who do not want it erased.
That's it.
Yeah, but
you've just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Because,
how does that work?
Jesse, you said it very well. You said it so beautifully. You see, what we forget when we're doing our brand management is that there are people who are enthused about the brand, and then there are people who are sympathetic to the brand. And there are some people who abhor the brand.
Thank you.
Somebody did not like you because as a child you had a chopper bike, or as a child in secondary at Presec Legon, he wanted to dance with a particular girl at St. Mary's, and the girl insisted on dancing with only you through the night. That person, when you have bad news, will hold on to that bad news forever.
So those people will never let go. Okay.
The ill-willed will hold on to ill stories
forever.
The good-willed
will
look at it and say, well,
it's okay.
Is it true?
Yeah.
It's not true.
Let it go. Just to finish your point. Okay. Yeah.
That's it.
That's perfect.
Point
Finish
number
the point.
4 is working on the mind. George, you see, when the motivational speakers have left you, when your friends come to your house and they finish drinking the whiskey with you, and they've shared the moments, and they've had a good time with you, they've traveled to Malaysia with you, Singapore, to cool you down. At dawn, when you wake up to go and pee, and it's just you alone, it would hit you. You need to work on your mind. Now, if you are one of those people who are able to work on themselves mentally, do that. But you see, honestly, if you cannot work on yourself, find somebody who can help you work on your mind. Because you see, the question of, George, getting back to your career, it's not an easy one. Like Uncle Ken tried to summarize it to make it look like, Charlie, work on yourself and get back on track. There's a mental stress that people like you may have gone through. I mean, maybe he has a tough skin. So, George, the mental warfare is a big issue. And how do you deal with that? if you can't manage yourself and take yourself through the stress, find somebody who can walk you through it.
you through it.
Now, the thing is, at some point, you need to deal with the issue. For me, when emotions have simmered down, you can explain yourself in an amazing way. And I want to give you an example, right? The person might be upset. Let me give you an example. You remember the issue of Ras Mubarak?
Yeah.
It took him how many years to respond to the issue?
Nearly
4 years.
Four years.
Which
Yeah.
issue?
Well, like he was beating his wife.
His
wasn't
wife,
taking
the
care of
issue with his
and
wife
things
and
like
all that, yeah.
And he suffered it for years. And when it was time for him to write his heart out, I read it over 7 times. Because every word made sense. So I'm just saying, give yourself time before you explain yourself to people.
Agree.
By the time the gossip is done, you can make sense
agree.
yourself. I know we don't have too much time, and we've lost too much
agree.
time. But these are some of the few things that I would just say for now.
There's
No,
one thing,
I think the
there's one
points are-
thing
yeah.
Jesse said that I'd like to add too.
Yeah.
There's this new phenomenon that's going on everywhere in the world, and usually certain things start in the third world and go up to the second and the first. Others start in the first and then trickle down to the third. This thing called cancel culture. Now, anybody who is accused of anything,
It's true, straight.
anything,
Cancel him.
right? There are people with their own personal agenda, right? There are people who love you, people who like you, people who are ambivalent towards you, and people who dislike you. So based on those emotions, they will choose where they stand.
Of course.
Now, I would think it would be unfair for somebody who is earning just a little a month and has a family to feed, once they are accused by somebody who may be a liar, because you see, an allegation has to be proven for
Definitely.
it to become factual.
Definitely.
And those facts need to be checked
Yeah.
for the truth of the situation to be put out in a court of law.
Yeah.
To ask that person to stop their work and earn no income while somebody revels in a lie and the lie does the rounds is unfair. And I think
Very unfair.
every human being with a good heart and who has any modicum of intelligence
Very unfair.
must join all the good people around the world
Yeah.
to fight against cancel culture.
Point well made. Sadiq, final thoughts so that we can wrap it up.
Absolutely.
No, I mean, the issue about cancel culture brings to mind a lot of conversations and back and forth that we've had. A lot of us young people that are on Twitter, particularly, or Facebook, have had where issues come up, and you have a few influencers take up a certain look. Someone like Manche. I mean, I did really reach out to him some time back. He's had a similar issue, and it's actually still in court trying to clear his name. And interestingly, for Manche, when I touched base with him, a lot of people that advance what he truly felt was a false allegation against him, for which he went to court and sued some of them, and they are unable to come to court, in fact, for this. But it made a lot of rounds, created deeply held perceptions against him, and there was a whole lot of things that was going to go down, but for the fact that he was thick-skinned and strong-headed enough. So it's a major problem. I'm sure at the right time we'll have the
to be
conversation on that. But it's also important to stress the fact that the issues of rape is but a very, very important one that still needs a lot of focus. I understand that there are a lot of issues or a lot of instances where people do lie, and of course I stand with anybody that would suggest that people that lie should be punished.
Exactly.
But it's equally important that when you look at the statistics of the actual rape issues that actually do happen, that any attempt to sort of make it a bit more impossible, equivalent tax for people to actually report issues of rape, I'll disagree with anybody that seeks to suggest that a number of things should be done in that regard. I disagree with that.
I think you've just
No.
picked one issue. No. Where we are going, we're going to start another argument.
Clarity is
let
very
us
important,
broaden
especially
the issue.
when we are on a platform where others are listening to us. It's important for people to be clear, succinct, so that we don't leave people with did he mean this or did he mean
No, no, no,
that?
no, 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 no.
Clarity.
No, Kikedi.
What are people saying that will make
No,
it
I think
difficult?
No, no, no,
Sadiq,
no,
I think what
I
you are
am
doing is
not- I
that
am not-
no. Bottom
I'm
line,
not-
what you are trying to
I'm
say
not
is that we
actually
should create an enabling environment for people to be able to report such issues, right?
been reacting to
What-
anything KKD have said.
No, I get
But
what you're saying. That's
I'm
what you're
following
saying.
the
Something
conversation.
new.
I mean, be clear in your
No,
statement.
no,
Yes.
this is not a KKD matter. If I have to provide that,
Yes,
but
you're
most
speaking
importantly-
general. You're
You're
speaking
saying
general.
something.
General.
Yes. Okay. And this one also says, yes, Sadiq, you've made your point. Okay, gentlemen, we have just 3 minutes to go. Uncle Ken, any points? Because I want to give the last few minutes to KKD so that we can speak about upcoming projects and what he has to do. You know,
Your
King.
messages.
I mean, no. I want to give the last few minutes to KKD to speak to us about upcoming projects. You are a trained filmmaker. Why haven't you made any film? Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Clients, that is why I
filmmaking.
make
Okay.
commercials for clients. That is why I create content for clients. A whole bag of material that I'd written to come and shoot is gone, but we're still developing material and we're writing books as well. And you see, don't ever, to the young people, let me tell you this,
Yeah.
whether it's your parents, your teachers, or your friends, find your purpose. Let them all inform and water your purpose. But don't be swayed from your purpose to be something others want you to be.
Perfect.
Because you will not be real.
Perfect.
Find your
Your
purpose.
purpose.
Because if you don't find your purpose, others will find it for you. And you will be a doctor who doesn't like being a doctor.
Perfect.
Or you'll be a brand person who doesn't like being a brand
Brand
person.
person.
Look, I have a friend who works in the police. She's in a senior position. All she wanted to ever do was run her own fashion business. You know, and deep inside, she feels like, okay, it's not too late. When I go on pension, I will.
You're gonna do that.
Find your purpose.
Your purpose. That's
and
the
follow
word
it.
from
And
King
mine is
Kwasi
simple.
Kyei Darkwah.
Elo-
Find your purpose.
Eloquence, elegance with purpose. That's it.
Excellent. That's it from the finest. Jesse, we're out of here.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're very good.
Yes, I'm good.
Yes, a happy birthday to Mr. Akin Sofori Kuma, former Barclays Bank manager, turning 70 years old tomorrow. Coming in from your kids, Collins and Pabela Ofori Kuma. Happy birthday to you, sir. Yes, it's been another edition of Showbiz A to Z, produced by the man Philip Nye. Up next, Belay comes with Flashback. You don't want to miss that exciting edition. Noella Kariniale gave us Showbiz this week. DJ Black gave us the countdown. DJ Obeto gave us the music. Manita held us down on production support, and Selwyn put us on social media. Up next, the news at 6. Special thanks to you, Jesse Amwe Japong, Uncle Kana Adi, Sadiq Abdullah Abu, and of course, our special guest for today, King Kwasi Kyei Darkwah. And thank you all for doing the listening. My name is George Quaye, and this has been another exciting edition of Showbiz A to Z. God willing, when we come back on Monday, it's going to be for another exciting edition of the Late Night Express.